Good morning and welcome to Transsexual Sunday. This is Diana Salami, your hostess. So, if you read what was in the front here, you'll see that ChillTarts has another question. This one is an X-rated question. So, you know the spiel. This is an adult channel. If you're not at least 18 years old, you need to click it out. Because we're not here to groom anybody. We're just here to talk about our lives, tell our stories, talk with people who either are like minds or want to understand what's going on. So, I'm not here to pet anybody. You're all adults here, supposedly adults. So if you don't agree with something I have to say, you just need to click it out. You have that ability. You growed up now. So you're not going to get rid of me or anybody like me just by saying you're a man. That has nothing to do with it, y'all, because it's what's in our minds, and you're not going to stop that. You're not going to stop us living our lives. We're going to do it. We're going to be happy, and in most cases, you're not going to know anything about it. Unless I came on here and told you, you would know nothing about it. If you saw me somewhere, you would know nothing about it. Because I would smile at you and say, hey there, how are you? And you would smile right back. I know. So, this is our little spiel here. So, ChillTarts had asked a question that was sort of risque. She asked about the trans community, mostly the trans women who resort to sex work because it's something that's always went on, the world's oldest profession, and I can grant you it will always go on. But they were asking about the correlation with trans women and sex work. Now, in the past, of course, that was one of the only avenues available to trans women, especially those that did not pass, to make a living. Now, if you've listened to any of my other videos, you know that I did do sex work to get the money for my surgery. But at the same time, I was working straight work, waitress and sales clerk by day, and a prostitute by night. Because I knew it was going to take me forever to get my money. So I did it just as long as I had to get my money, and I got out of it. And most of the girls that I knew that had to do it for that reason, they went on to live fabulous lives. One actually just retired as a bank president. So if you've used something like that as a means of an escape from something, that's one thing. But to use it as a way of life, and in today's world, to use it as an excuse that trans women can't do any better, that's a lie. Because we do know, with all of these laws and everything, that trans women can go back to school, they can get degrees, they can get jobs that trans women in the past could not get. So I feel that if people are still using sex work as their main ends to get a living going, then it's their choice, because it is an easy way. If you can keep your mind out of it and not let that consume you. And they ask, was there any mental, any psychological effects from having to live that life? Absolutely. It taught me how dirty some men can be. They were the ones that were out paying for it. And most of those were married men. I had even come in contact with a famous preacher that was well known. Those kind of things shocked me. And I will carry those things with me always. I'll never forget. So I'm saying that it's something I wished I had never had to get into, to see that part of life that I never wanted to know existed. Oh, I knew it existed, but until you're actually faced with it, it becomes really personal. It's something you'll carry with you always, if you have the kind of mind that just wants to live a regular life. Now, if you're into that, if you're the kind of person that can handle that kind of lifestyle, then okay, do it. Maybe you'll enjoy it. I know you'll enjoy the money, because I sure enjoyed that. But I knew it was something I didn't want to do the rest of my life. I wanted to get out. But I know that that had a lot to do with my relationships with men, because I never fully trusted any man after having to live that lifestyle. So I can understand people doing it if they're doing it as a means to get somewhere. But if they're still doing it in today's world, it's their choice. And that's my opinion. Because if you want to argue about it, go somewhere and argue about it. This is just what I have understood. Because I know that myself and my friends that had to resort to that, we went on to do many things that were not anything to do with the sex field. So if they're choosing that, in today's world, when you have FFS and all these surgeries where they can be flawless, there's no excuse. Use that sex work as a means to get where you want to go. And then go there. Because nothing's worse than seeing an old hooker, especially an old trans hooker. So you need to get somewhere in your life. If you're doing it, do it for a reason. Do your thing and get out of it. But those things will haunt you. If you've got any kind of soul, those things will haunt you. To see a part of life that you never wanted to understand, you never wanted to be a part of. Sometimes you have to be a grown-up and do what it takes. Because that's what my mama said. I told her all about it. Hoping she would feel sorry for me, I actually asked to borrow the money for my surgery. I knew the doctor I was going to. I knew how much money I needed. And I also told her that I had an opportunity, that I had been approached by someone that wanted to hire me in a cat house. And I didn't want to do it. No, I thought I was above all that. You know I did, the way I act. I always thought I was above all that. But I also knew at my age, I was in my teens, that working minimum wage jobs, it was going to take me until I was old to get the money. So I did. Got my money and got out. So I went on with my life. And I've really not worried about it or thought that much about it. You know, my gender problems had nothing for me. I didn't have any problems. I went anywhere I wanted to go and did anything I wanted to do and never had any problems about my gender. I had problems when I got heavy because people like to make fun of fat people. And as I started to age and get old, people love to make fun of old people. They just do. And the thing is, we're the lucky ones, I guess, because we're still here. We're still living it. We're still kicking it. And some people aren't that lucky. So y'all go out and live your life. Try not to have to do things you don't want to do, things that you feel are beneath you. But if you feel you have to, and you're able to, do it, get out of it, and live your lives.